I'll keep it short. So I was born, but I do think it's relevant. So I just tell you personally sort of where I came from and why I think education, not only for my kids, but their friends, their friends' younger siblings is really important. So I grew up in rural America in West Virginia, right? So I have family there, my brothers and sisters are still there, they have kids in the school system. And I can tell you, I had nothing like a Marlboro education growing up, right? It's just wildly different. The quality of teachers, the access to education, the diversity, none of it's there, right? So I feel so blessed that I moved to Marlboro with my wife in, I don't know, a year, but it was several years ago, for the school system, right? Before this, we lived in a town that didn't have such a great school system, so we had our kids into private school. And then we moved to Marlboro, we were able to put them into the public schools. And I can tell you, the difference in that education they got from Marlboro compared to the private school, not only the education, but the diversity of friends that they have now, and just everything, it's just hands down. So, like Aditi, I hadn't been paying attention to the schools, frankly, that much because everything was so good. Like my kids were learning, they were getting pushed. The teachers were amazing. You know, you talk to teachers all the time, and they tell you everything about your kid. And the way that they approach everything, it's heaven, right? They went through Asher and Memorial. My youngest just graduated from Memorial, so the kids are out of the pre-K, but I see what's happening, and I have a lot of friends, and they have a lot of friends who have younger siblings. This just can't stop. But my point is, I hadn't paid attention to this, and I had focused a lot of my energy in West Virginia, where I grew up, for the last decade or so, mentoring kids in that state, because I know what it's like to grow up in a state like that where you don't have access to good education and you don't have a network. I was able to get out of that, move to New York, start a job in the pharmaceutical industry, and I'm much better off. And my kids just had it 20 times better than I could ever imagine where I'd be in my life right now. So I hadn't paid attention to it, and I still do a lot with West Virginia University and kids in that state, and mentoring them and helping them, and it means the world to me, because if I can help those kids experience the world differently, or give them an avenue to understand what's outside of rural America, showcase diversity to them, give them educational opportunities, find them jobs in real industries rather than coal mining or you know, farming or whatever it may be, gas now in West Virginia. But recently, over the last, I'd say 3 or 4 years, I really started paying attention to Marlboro schools because I see what's happening. Teachers are leaving. We don't have an administrator. The Board of Education, frankly, I just say it as a joke. They don't prioritize what they should be prioritizing. And so at the end of the day, I get along with everybody, which is great. It's also a downfall. There's a lot of pros and cons that go with that. But I truly think that we can work with people and find some common ground in the middle, whether or not you believe in an extreme of one thing or the other. It can happen. The board right now just doesn't really, I think, take any effort in doing that. And it's just a very, as Sue mentioned, you can't even have a conversation with them. And if you've ever emailed them, you've probably gotten emails back that are very direct and not opening up a conversation. And it doesn't have to be like that. Like, our job primarily is to work with the community. I don't care if you have kids in the school or not, you pay taxes. And at the end of the day, if teachers are leaving Marlboro, we don't have qualified administrators, people don't want to move here because of what they hear on the news about our schools. What's that say about our town? I'm not moving anytime soon. My kids are going through the school system. I hope one day they move back here, have kids, and put them through the Marlboro school system. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever. Out of my control. I can't do anything about that. But that's why I'm doing this. There's just a better way to do it. And it's just be nice to people. Like, work with them. Like, be out there. Like, engage with people. Like, just don't hide behind an office and make decisions and say sorry.